Right now, 840,000 barrels of oil flow through the Strait of Hormuz every single hour. This narrow passage is the most volatile energy choke point on the planet. If this flow stops, global gas prices are projected to double by sunrise. Protecting this artery is the USS Abraham Lincoln. This 100,000-ton aircraft carrier is the centerpiece of a fleet ensuring the world's energy supply remains unchoked. At 3:24 a.m., the radar detects 47 targets shrieking toward the fleet at Mach 0.9. These are commercial DJI drones, modified into suicide assassins with 50-kilogram warheads and launched alongside heavy cruise missiles. The attackers use low-cost AI to bypass GPS locks and execute a clever maneuver. They hug the hulls of 300-meter oil tankers. This bleeds their radar signatures into the massive steel ships, merging lethal threats and neutral merchants into a single mass of pixels on the Lincoln's monitors. The commander has exactly 94 seconds to act. A single missile hitting a neutral tanker would turn the strait into a global political graveyard, but hesitating for even a moment ensures the carrier becomes a heap of scrap metal on the ocean floor. These neutral tankers turn a standard interception into a complex sorting problem. To survive, the Navy must find a way to strip away the deception and identify the threats before they reach the inner perimeter. The first line of defense is the outer ring, intercepting threats hundreds of miles away. To bypass radar spoofing, an E-2D Hawkeye slaves every fleet sensor into a single purified data stream, allowing the Navy to see through the digital hall of mirrors. F-35Cs bank into the swarm, using their distributed aperture systems to ignore the radar noise entirely. They lock onto the microscopic infrared heat signatures of the drone engines, signatures that the enemy's GPS spoofing cannot hide. This data is pulsed back to the Lincoln, allowing its Aegis system to scrub the battlefield in nanoseconds. The fleet's destroyers launch a volley of Sea Sparrow missiles, harvesting 29 of the 47 incoming targets in a matter of heartbeats. In this outermost layer, the defense functions as a data processing filter. The goal isn't just to destroy targets, but to clarify the battlefield so the remaining threats can be managed. With 18 targets remaining, the attackers escalate. High-powered shore emitters blast every frequency band with electronic static, blinding the fleet's $12 billion nervous system and causing even the most modern sensors to lose their orientation. An EA-18G Growler counters this with a concentrated electronic counterattack. Its next-generation jammer pods punch a hole of silence through the wall of interference, restoring digital vision just as the targets close in on the inner perimeter. Beneath the waves, 2 Iranian-supplied midget submarines attempt to exploit the surface chaos. They move slowly through the acoustic shadow of underwater mountain ranges, hoping the noise above will mask their approach toward the fleet's Achilles heel. They are intercepted by a Virginia-class attack submarine. Using advanced sonar arrays, the American sub maps every mechanical pulse of the enemy engines through the silt and mud, neutralizing both threats in complete silence before they can fire a single torpedo. To survive on the surface, the Navy must first win the invisible battle. Controlling the electromagnetic spectrum and the subsurface domain is the only way to keep the carrier sensors online. Once the Growler clears the electronic static, the fleet regains a lock on the 18 remaining targets, quickly harvesting 12 of them. However, the final 6 are the fastest and most advanced. These survivors suddenly drop altitude, shifting to a sea-skimming trajectory to hide within the waves and saltwater spray. The outer ring destroyers struggle with the lingering jamming, and their final salvo of missiles loses lock, plunging harmlessly into the sea. A single suicide drone breaches the final barrier, hurtling straight toward the Lincoln's command tower. At a distance of less than 1.5 kilometers, the Phalanx CIWS takes absolute control. This automated system whips its 20mm Vulcan barrel toward the horizon, firing a wall of tungsten bullets at a rate of 4,500 rounds per minute. The Phalanx tears the drone apart just 150 meters from the ship's side. The resulting explosion slams a shockwave into the Lincoln, raining red-hot engine fragments and fiery debris down onto the flight deck and embedding a piece of wreckage into an F-35C. Point defense is the ultimate failsafe. When long-range missiles and digital networks are bypassed, The survival of thousands of sailors comes down to a mechanical system that can clear the air faster than a human operator can react. The entire engagement lasted exactly 15 minutes. Just 11 minutes after the final drone was destroyed, the Lincoln and its escorts shift from defensive survival to a massive offensive pivot. Arleigh Burke destroyers launched dozens of Tomahawk missiles in unison. These ground-penetrating weapons level the enemy's underground command centers and drone storage facilities, striking directly at the brain of the operation. P-8 Poseidons and military satellites pinpoint the exact coordinates of the shore-based jamming stations. The Navy uses this data to surgically remove the emitters, ensuring the enemy's 3 months of preparation vanish in a single morning. This battle highlights a massive technological disparity. While the attackers used hacked, low-cost commercial tech to find a poor man's apocalypse, the U.S. Navy relied on a multi-billion-dollar integrated infrastructure to process and neutralize the threat. In modern warfare, the definitive advantage is no longer just armor or firepower. It is absolute processing speed, the ability to see, sort, and strike 47 targets before they can touch a single plate of steel.